between when it actually comes on and when it'll project, but it'll be fine.
Like, hello, 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 hello?
Yes.
Okay.
And you do have to get kind of close to it to pick up.
Okay.
And then to mute, you just
Test, test, 1, 2, 3. That works. Okay. All right. Should I just turn it off for now?
Right. Well, welcome, everyone. It is so awesome to have you here, and it is so awesome to be able to celebrate this time with you. So I do want to just give you a primer on the microphone. You can see how close it is to me. It doesn't work when it's like this, and it gets really tricky, especially if you haven't. See, you can't hear anything. And for the streaming folks, they won't hear anything unless you can hear yourself over the speaker. So just feel free to manipulate it as you need to. It can take it, right? So just want to see what a difference. Okay, great. Yeah, just wanted to make sure we could all hear all your house members. Again, welcome.
stand here. All right. Just gotta make sure this will be able to like. Yeah. So we can just bend that down for you.
I can. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how to? You're just like moving
I can.
this part. Okay.
I have a lamp like that.
Yeah. If you need to take the microphone off, you can. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the opening ceremonies.
Color Guard, present the colors. Scout salute. Color Guard, post the colors. Everyone, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance. Two. Please join me in reciting the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally weak, morally straight. Please join me in reciting the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, reverent.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Heather Doyen, and I have the pleasure of being Master of Ceremonies for this Eagle Court of Honor to recognize the accomplishments of my fellow Scouts, Sam Landon, James Beard, Andrew Gable, Aiden Dement, and Liam Doyen. To earn the highest rank in Scouting, a Scout must spend a great deal of time and effort fulfilling the requirements of rank advancement. Their efforts, as well as those of their Scout leaders and their family, culminate today in the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award. This is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for reflection. At this point, I would like to call upon Reverend Sean Brandon to ask God's blessing on this ceremony.
As we gather, may the one who created us, saves us, and sustains us be with you all. Let us pray. Holy God, holy and mighty, holy and immortal, we stand before you in awe of your glory and in gratitude for all your blessings. We thank you for bringing us together as a family of Scouts, gathered to celebrate the accomplishments of Aiden, Andrew, James, Liam, and Samuel in attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. We pray that you would bless this celebration as we rejoice with them. May the ceremony inspire vision and encourage others to follow the Eagle path. We ask your blessings on these young men, their families, and the Scouts, leaders, friends, and guests who are assembled here, and all who helped support and guide these young men on their Eagle Trail. And we ask that in your mercy and wisdom, you would help each of them to live up to the honor, responsibility, and expectations that this Eagle Award represents, so they might indeed live lives filled with character, persistence, courage, loyalty, cheerfulness, service, of setting an example and of protecting the weak and helpless. Help them wear this title with pride and distinction. Help them soar in your presence with the wings of an eagle. May your breath fill each of those wings and carry them to their future. And may God continue to grow in you gifts, leading by influence and not by title alone. We offer this prayer, trusting in your promise to hear one God, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Brandon. Mr. Peter Kaiser, Scoutmaster for Troop 995B, could you please come forward and convene the Court of Honor with a few remarks?
Good afternoon and welcome. By the power vested in me by Scouts BSA, I declare this Eagle Court of Honor to be duly convened for the purpose of presenting Eagle Scout Award to Sam Landon, James Beard, Andrew Gable, Aiden Dement, and Liam Doyen. This is the highest award in scouting, and you guys are all eminently deserving of this rank and this award. And while the end results took a lot of hard work and effort to get to this point, it is this time that the Trail to Eagle speakers please come forward and tell us about the ranks of the scouting program.
The Scout rank is the first earned rank, must be completed as part of a new Scout joining the troop. Its requirements are basic but important and include learning the square knot, understanding the Scout oath and law, and how to properly wear the uniform.
The tenderfoot rank starts us on the trail to Eagle. It requires learning some basic camping skills, first aid skills, demonstrating personal fitness, and becoming an active member of your patrol. These are the foundational skills that will be used throughout your scouting journey.
The second class rank continues the trail to Eagle. It requires learning more outdoor skills, more knots, participating in at least 5 troop outings, compass work, plant identification, basic swimming skills, and more first aid skills.
Yes, I need my own. Alright, so the first class rank continues the trail to Eagle. It requires learning even more outdoor skills and more knots, lashings, and participating in at least 10 troop outings, compass work, learning how to find directions without a compass, planning and directing patrol meals on a campout, more swimming skills, and finally more first aid skills. When you become a first-class scout, you are expected to have learned all the basic scouting skills. Most important with this rank is the transition from being a student to becoming a leader in the group and giving back to the newest scouts as others have given to you.
Now the trail to Eagle starts to get steeper. The star rank requires earning 6 merit badges, at least 4 of them being Eagle required, holding a troop leadership position, and being an active troop member. Star Scouts are expected to be helping other scouts on the trail to Eagle.
The life rank requires earning 5 more merit badges for a total of at least 10. Some of them Eagle required, holding a troop leadership position, and being an active troop member. Life Scouts are expected to be helping other scouts on the trail to Eagle. Scoutmaster relies on these scouts to run the troop. They set the example for younger scouts, and they have scouting in their hearts.
The Eagle rank is the highest award in scouting. In addition to being an active member in the troop, it requires at least 21 merit badges, including 13 required badges, holding a troop leadership position, and planning and leading a community service project.
Will Nick, Joa, and Travis please come forward to present the candle ceremony? We start with the fundamental principles of scouting, the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. These candles represent the light of scouting.
We're gonna pretend the blue lighter worked and nothing else happened. Anyways, duty to God. Oh, I was supposed to say that first. A scout is reverent. They are reverent towards God and faithful to their religious duties. They respect the convictions of others in matters of custom and religion.
Duty to others. A scout is committed to selflessness and serving others. This is an acknowledgement of a responsibility to help those around us and make the world a better place. Duty to self. This is a responsibility of oneself to develop our talents, preserve dignity, and hold ourselves accountable for staying physically, mentally, and spiritually fit.
These scouts have learned to live by these principles, as did all the Eagle Scouts before them. The Eagle Badge is not a decoration, but rather a symbol of knowledge and ability. Mr. Kaiser, Mr. Coles, and Mr. Pereira, can you please come forward for the Eagle Charge?
Gentlemen, the foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. They know that a scout is trustworthy, is the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not because honor is important to them, but because of the example they set for other Scouts. May the white of the Eagle Badge remind you to always live with honor.
Your second obligation as an Eagle Scout is to be loyal. As a follower, you promise to be loyal to those above you. Now, as a leader, you must also be loyal to those that you lead. You must also be loyal to your ideals. Let the blue of the Eagle Badge remind you of your loyalty.
The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. To a scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for what is right. Let the red of the Eagle Badge remind you always of courage.
Your final obligation as an Eagle Scout is to have a vision as a leader. You must now blaze your own trail. Just as the bald eagle high above the ground can look far into the horizon, so too must you look far into the future. Many people want to follow you. Only with vision will you be able to lead them in the right direction. Let the silver eagle hanging from your badges remind you of its vision.
To recognize those that have come before these five gentlemen, I would like all Eagle Scouts in the audience to please come forward and form a line. Starting with the closest, would you please give your name and the year that you earned your Eagles?
Mark Gable. I think the year was 1987 with Troop 74 in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania.
Travis Johnson, if I did the math correctly, it should have been 2016? 2016 as a part of this troop, Arnold, Maryland, 995.
Corey Doyen, 2016, 2015, 2017, one of those three, and Troop 2214, Cape St. Clair, Maryland.
Ryan Johnson, Troop 800, Baltimore, Maryland, back in 1985.
Heather Doyen, 2020, Troop 995, Arnold, Maryland.
When we began our program this afternoon, you joined with your fellow scouts in repeating the scout oath. Now you repeat new vows, the Eagle Scout promise. Though the words you say are similar to those you've said so many times before, today they will mean more to you than they ever have. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your oath with the words which closed the Declaration of Independence.
Please rise. Eagle, well, just the Eagle Scouts, probably, but sorry. Gentlemen, please make the Scout sign and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2. Please be seated.
Scouts, your parents have been a great source of help and strength. They are proud to be part of your recognition. We recognize the importance of family and their sacrifices to support your scouting endeavors. We will now call each scout up one by one for the presentation of the Eagle rank. Aiden, would you please invite your parents forward? Mrs. Dement, please pin the Eagle medal on your Scout's uniform. Okay. Aiden, in recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with the mother's pin. Your father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. He will present you with the Eagle Scout certificate. In return, please present your father with the Eagle lapel pin. Please be seated. Andrew, would you please invite your parents forward? Mrs. Gable, please pin the Eagle Medal on your Scout's uniform. Andrew, in recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with the mother's pin. Your father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. He will present you with the Eagle Scout certificate. In return, please present your father with the Eagle lapel pin. Congratulations, please be seated. James, would you please invite your parents forward? Mrs. Beard, please pin the Eagle Medal on your Scout's uniform. James, in recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with the mother's pin. Your father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. He will present you with the Eagle Scout certificate. In return, please present your father with the Eagle lapel pin. Congratulations, James. Liam, would you please invite our parents forward? Mom, please pin the Eagle Medal on Liam's uniform. Liam, in recognition of our mother's devotion, please present her with the mother's pin. Our father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. He will present you with the Eagle Scout certificate. In return, please present our father with the Eagle lapel pin. Congratulations, Liam. All right, Sam, would you please invite your parents forward? Mrs. Landon, please pin the Eagle medal on your Scout's uniform. Sam, in recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with the mother's pin. Your father has been a source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. He will present you with the Eagle Scout certificate. And in return, please present your father with the Eagle lapel pin. Congratulations, Samuel. At this time, if any of the Scouts would like to recognize their grandparents, please invite your grandparents forward. In recognition of your grandparents' devotion, please present them with the grandparents' pin. Would the 5 Scouts please come forward? Just like make a line facing that way. And now it gives me great pleasure to present to you our newest Eagle Scouts, Sam Landon, James Beard, Andrew Gable, Aiden Dement, and Liam Doyen. Scouts, would you please come forward to say a few remarks?
I got this? Okay. Hi, everybody. I would first like to thank literally everyone who helped me here. All of you played some role in me getting here. All the scouts for staying with it and being helpful, supportive friends. All the leaders who helped guide and make everything possible and everything to happen. To my family, especially, because you guys helped a lot. And this is for me, it's some of the more, I'd like to thank Mr. Humphrey at home for being my beneficiary and for just always motivating me, helping me to be a better person. To Mr. Kaiser, Mr. Doyen, Mr. Beard, Mr. Gable for being some of the bigger leaders in my time at Scouts. I'd like to thank Mr. Cobb, Mr. Caperna, and Mr. Rosner for helping me through with my Eagle Scout project. I'd also like to thank Mr. Coles for helping me get my project in and submitted and fully finalized. And just really thank you everyone for helping me and for pushing me to do this. Thank you.
I don't think I can reach the certain height that Sam's speech did, but I'll try my best. But first, I'd like to say thanks to 11 years in the past. I first joined Cub Scouts with a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of other people. None of these guys. I didn't know them for a few years. But I'd like to thank the leaders and the friends I've made throughout Cub Scouts, including Mr. Hurley, who has been a then chief and a leader for me. And I'd also like to thank Mr. Callahan because he's also been a leader for me through then. But when I joined Troop 995 back in 2016, I met these 4 people and had lots of fun through the years. They've helped me out, same as all these people, and some people back there. Hello. They've helped me out throughout the years. I honestly couldn't, I wouldn't have stayed in the troop if it wasn't for them. It's been really fun. Throughout the few ranks that I've made, the 7 big ones, I guess, honestly, it's been a really wild journey. I'd like to thank all the leaders that have been with me and have guided me through this journey. I'd like to thank my father, there you are, for being there as the community chair and as my father. Without you, I probably wouldn't have even joined Cub Scouts. Yeah. I'd also like to thank my mother. There you are. You were with my father throughout the entire journey, supporting me throughout as well. And you may have sewn these on. Pretty nice. I'd like to thank my teachers who have taught me throughout my years of school. Honestly, math is really fun. And I'd like to thank my extended family, my uncle, my aunt, my grandparents, and for all those that are also online. Thank you for being there for me throughout my years of living. Hopefully I can stay for a few more. but at a total of 55 merit badges and 6 palms, I'd like to say that I'm not stopping now, and I can't wait for the next 2 years of being part of this very fabulous troop. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Okay. I'm going to try and keep this brief just because there's 5 of us and we all are probably going to be thinking generally the same people, maybe some different ones. I'd like to thank the Eagle counselors, Mr. Cobb, Mr. Ostrader, Mr. Caperna, and Mr. Rajner for helping me get through my project. It was a really easy time going through, especially with COVID. We had to do like these Zoom back and forths, so it was really helpful having them with me for that. I'd like to thank the wonderful people at Gloria Day, Pastor Sean, Mr. Clark, and Mrs. Hatch for allowing me to do the project at Gloria Day. It was really nice. I was very happy to be able to do it at the church that I actually go to. Let's see what else. I'd like to thank all the people that helped me work at the project. We did a day of actually constructing, we did a day with the benches, and we did a big day with the Eagles, or not the Eagles, the Scouts at the church, and everybody was painting then, so I'd like to thank everybody who was a part of that. I would like to thank all of the people that were alongside me for most of my time in scouting, Mr. Andy Lahart, Mr. Peter Dugan, and Mr. Ken O'Day from Cub Pack 727. And I'd like to thank Mr. Kaiser, Mr. and Mrs. Doyen, Mr. and Mrs. Beard, Mr. Coles, Mr. Humphrey, and all of the other numerous adults who have helped me along the way. A special thanks to Ms. Pereira for the wonderful cakes. I think they look really, really cool. And I would also like to thank Mr. Ryan and Miss Stacy. Mr. Ryan, I was going to tell you now, but I'm going to be giving you my Eagle Mentor pin, so thank you so much for everything you've done for me. And maybe I'm forgetting someone. Maybe I'm forgetting a little bit of family. Thank you for everybody that has been in my family, extended or personal. And a special thanks to my dad, Mark Gable, who is probably the biggest inspiration in my life, was the person that pushed me to get to where I am today, and is the person that I'd like to be when I grow up. So thank you so much, Dad. Anybody who knows anything about my Eagle project knows that it was all about being creative, being kind, and putting something back into the community. And I feel like that is exactly what I've accomplished in the couple months since I've done my project. We've noticed that a lot of people, or I think some of the kids at Gloria Day, I think some of the the kids that go to the Sunday school, have actually added on to the rocks that we have put down there. We started with, I want to say, 400 rocks. And with the additions that my family has already made and the additions that the kids made, I'm very happy to say that I think I've done a very good job with making something that goes beyond what it was just for me. So it was an Eagle project, but now it can be something that the church can have, and that's all I can ask for. So thank you to everybody who has, what? There are rocks out in the lobby. Thank you for everybody who has helped me along the way. I'm at the bottom of my heart, very appreciative. Thank you.
To start off, I'd like to thank my parents for sticking with me through this whole thing, throughout the entire process, even when I've been a bit of a knucklehead, to put it simply. Then the entire board of Eagle coaches for even getting the project done so I could even be here today. On top of that, I would like to thank all the scouts, scoutmasters, and parents, past or present, whether it be at my project or signing off me throughout the years. I'd also like to thank Mr. Humphrey, the beneficiary, as well as the person who's kind of helped me along this process somewhat. He got my project over at City of Refuge in Baltimore. I'd like to thank him for letting me do that. Lastly, I'd like to thank Mr. Tom Costello for being my den leader all those years ago, kind of get me started on this whole track. It's a bit short, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry.
All right, I like to preface this by saying there is cake, so I'm gonna keep it quick so we can, get there. But I'd like to thank, my family, friends, everyone who helped in the ceremony. Thank you very much. It means a lot to us, I know. I'd like to thank family tuning in online. I really appreciate you being here. All the scout leaders who have helped me, Mr. Gable, Mr. Kaiser, my dad, Mr. Beard, Mr. Pereira. Just, if I'm missing anybody, please know I appreciate you, Mr. Coles. And then also for the Eagle coaches, Mr. Cobb, Mr. Ostrader, Mr. Rosner, they all helped out a lot. And the sound people up there, thank you very much as well. And yeah, thank you.
You guys can sit down. Yeah. All right. We now give these scouts, family, friends, and fellow scouts and leaders an opportunity to provide some stories of their scouting careers. Those of you who would like to come up and speak, please form a line on the side. All right, since I'm already up here, I'll go first. That was fast. Okay. All right, so I have a little bit to say about each scout, so I'll start with James. So a story I have about James, and he kind of talked about it at my Court of Honor, so I'm going to, say it here too. It was a couple years ago at Elk Neck State Park when we were camping there, and Alicia, over there, she was grub master, which basically means she makes all the food and all that, and she made mac and cheese, which if you know the girls' troop, it's kind of like a sacred meal for us. If you know, you know. And so she made it, and part of the recipe was to add mustard. Now, if anyone knows James, James hates mustard a lot. And he was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to eat tonight because I don't want to eat that. And we all were like, no, me specifically, I was kind of, pushing that a lot. I'm like, no, you got to try it. You got to eat it. So he did, and he loved it. So I'm just saying, James, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was like some mustard in your cake out there. I don't know. Maybe. You'll find out later. Okay, next is Andrew. So Andrew is a model older scout, and even though he doesn't formally hold a leadership position right now, he still does a lot for the troop. And something that comes to mind was this last summer during summer camp. He was very invested in the cleanliness of camp. and I remember just walking by one day, and he's like, guys, it's really bad over here. They're all messy. And I'm like, yeah, there's 30 people in one site. And he's like, no, I'm going to get them together. And you did. And it was really good. So model older scout right there. Aiden, he and I served as SPL together. It was a lot of fun, lots of great leadership. One very beneficial thing about that was that he has a very low voice. So he was able to get people's attention. We were telling people to fall in because mine is kind of out of register where it just blends in with everybody else. So he kind of cut through all that, and I appreciate it. He's also stayed active in the troop over quarantine, and a lot of older scouts kind of dropped off, but he stuck with it. And yeah, he's just a model older scout. Sam has always been just very nice. Can't think of anything negative at all, just a very nice person. And he had a really cool project at City of Refuge, making an amphitheater. I went to help. It was a lot of fun. Great job leading it. Yeah, Sam's really cool. And finally, Liam. Okay. So actually, Liam was very supportive of me joining the troop and was never against it, which is kind of surprising because I was going into his territory a little bit, but he was just always so supportive about it. And I remember when I first started coming to meetings, I was the only girl there, and I would kind of stand off to the side alone and but he brought me into his patrol line and included me in the activities, and I won't forget that. I really appreciate it. And then I have another story. It's the lighter story, if you might know it. Unfortunately, we don't have the lighter here with us today, but I'll just kind of describe what happened. So basically, the story as it stands now is that we were on a kinder farm camping trip, and Liam's lighter, he dropped it in the fire, and it exploded. And it scared everyone, and it was just a big ball of flame, and it was so loud, and people thought they got shot at or something, but it was fine. Everyone was okay. But Liam dropped his lighter in the fire. That was kind of irresponsible, So we were talking about it. That's the story now. But what actually happened was that, and I'm gonna, hasn't been told before. So there was a younger scout there who shall remain nameless, but she was new. She was nervous, a little shy. She was building the fire. Liam let her borrow his lighter. and she dropped it right outside the fire, and then Liam went to put a log in, and then it just kind of like all exploded. So because he was there when it exploded, it was his lighter, and he took the blame for it. That's why everybody thinks that it was him. But but that's just like a prime example of how character is what you do when no one is watching, because everyone thought that he was the one who was, being irresponsible and did that, but he was actually protecting a younger scout from feeling, nervous or embarrassed, and yeah, nobody knew about it until today. So great job, Liam. And then I just have like a final point about like all the scouts together. So all these guys are really good friends. They play video games together all the time. I know because Liam sounds like a wounded animal, like yelling while he's playing. So like they play a lot, trust me. And some have played soccer together. And just yesterday, Liam was quizzing Andrew for a math test. So they're all really close. Did it go well? No, it didn't? Okay, sorry. Okay, well, he still quizzed him. They tried. But they've all been just such good friends over the years, and so it only makes sense that they celebrate this major life achievement together. So congratulations, guys.
So here's the thing. I spent like a week creating the perfect speech to make fun of all 5 of you, but then I realized you all scare me but Liam. And so I decided to just make fun of Liam. Liam, when do you actually complete physical fitness? Seven times the charm, they say. We all know it. We all know. Also, I have a quick question. This is a very important question. Do you remember a certain campout with a certain person from Troop 995G who was a dinosaur? Do you? Do you? I'm asking you a question.
I haven't been in the scout troop for as long as some of you, but I know one thing's for sure. All these Eagle Scouts throw a wicked dodgeball. And I want to point out one story. One story about one of our Eagle Scouts. I'm having brain fart here. I forgot his name. Andrew. That shows just how long I've been here. And one time I asked him, I saw that he had a SPL badge on his shirt, and I was like, how come you never do that again? And he was like, well, I think a lot of other scouts should get the chance to be a leader. And I thought that showed that he was very noble. That's it.
So I just want to start by, again, saying that all of these scouts have been really good role model for me, and they've just made the experience so much better. And it's going to be kind of sad to see them all age out and become Eagles, but they are going to stick around for a little while, so that's good. I have a few things to say. At summer camp, it was fun. It was really fun to do basketry with a lot of the older scouts. I was a big thing basketry, and we took the basketry class, and then we hung out in the cafeteria and did baskets one day. So that was pretty fun. Liam helped me start the fitness merit badge. He helped me get the majority of it done, and I am going to finish it. And James, whenever I need something, he's always the first person I can go to, and he always has the information, so that's good.
Normally, I have some intimate details of gory things about our Eagle Scouts. Falls from great heights due to failure to pay attention to their knot tying, or blood gushing from a knife that was sharp enough, or loss of eyebrows because they tried to light the candle with gasoline or something like that. I saw some spectacular Eagle projects, and I wanted to thank you all for your contributions to the troop. Being an Eagle Scout, you probably don't even realize how important a step it is. It really is one of the most important things you'll have accomplished, and it sets you up for a lifetime of service, contributing to others, teaching what you have learned. You've made a mark on this world. I took the Gables back to see my Eagle project that is still up at Baltimore County, Soldier's Delight, where people can see a map to hike around the various trails. And all of you have started your path in this life and left a mark in some unexpected ways. Normally, an Eagle project, they're making benches or sailboat stands, and you're teaching them how to make right angles with the lumber and keeping the paint right on the part of the project where you're supposed to have the paint. And usually it's one color. Andrew's project I was really impressed with, because never have I seen since Cub Scouts that amount of paint in different colors all over the place in such creative ways. Anyway, just wanted to say thank you very much for everything that you've done. It's really been an honor for me to be a small part of your progress, and looking forward to seeing you stay involved for a little bit. You've got some time left on the clock before you spread your wings and fly someplace else. I have stayed involved in this troop a little bit, part of the old guys. You all have now moved into the middle-aged guys. The pressure is off. You've made your rank, and now is the time to kind of sit back and enjoy it and think about how you want to also leave your mark on this troop. Thanks again.
You guys are great. I mean, when I started to try and think about what to say, the first thing I wanted to say was, you guys really have done a great job. And Scouting hopes to instill the values and all of the things that you guys embody. So, first of all, great job, congratulations. Second, congratulations to all of your parents, because, they definitely helped you. Everybody in this room, it's in life, the great things are not accomplished alone. Now, you guys definitely did this, but you had a lot of help. So, super proud of you. Couple of thoughts, Sam, you are the most positive, grounded scout, going. I've seen you under extremely adverse situations, and you always are just incredibly calm and cool. This is an excellent young man. Aiden, I don't know, you seem to come out of the womb a mature young man. Usually when scouts come in, they're he has been sort of this stable rock through the entire time that I've known him, and he's the kind of guy you could trust your nation's security to. He is absolutely a great guy. Excellent young man. James, you're like the glue that just, I was looking at the pictures, and you're like always in the pictures. And you're sort of like the metaphor for your hat. His hat has been to so many Scoutmaster conferences, so many courts of honor, or boards of review with all the other scouts. He is there, and he just provides all the different things to folks as they need it. That hat should be in a museum. I'm sure no hat has been to so many things like that in this country. So that one should be in a museum. Andrew is the most tenacious and focused, targeted scout. Okay. Now, when he puts his mind to something, there's no stopping him. There was a time he came into, we were just starting out with the girls' troop. We had set up our campsite. Well, I guess I should say he's very tenacious, except for this one time. Okay, now he can sell popcorn like nobody's business. He probably never paid a dime to go to summer camp. Camp cards, yeah. So he's got that. Well, anyway, so the girls had just set up their tents. They're going into their tents to change. They're all there. Then Andrew, I'm going to tell it from my perspective. Andrew comes rolling into the camp, says, "Where are the girls? I'm going to take their picture." To which I replied, oh, no, you're not? And he said, but Mr. Doyen, head on back to camp. That's what I said. Now, what I didn't know was poor Andrew had been sent on a mission by his dad to come over and just take some pictures. So, but he was frustrated. So that's the one time I think that Andrew actually was frustrated a little bit. It's true. Okay. Liam. All right, so Liam, you are obviously my boy. Smart, just, you're a blessing to your mother and I. When you started Scouts, you were, just like everybody else, inexperienced and things like that. Nearly killed yourself in the axe yard. Little things along the way, but then you went on to teach the axe yard. You found a tick that was still alive and squirming and cussed like a sailor in front of all the parents. And that was pretty cool too, because it was so out of character. So I just wanted to say I'm really proud of you, son. Good job.
I don't know that I got funny stories, but I got memories of each one of you, and I just wrote down some stuff that reminded me of our careers together since you joined. And Aiden joined first of all of you, and when he joined, Mr. Gazzo was still the scoutmaster. Do you remember that? Yep. And you joined with Jack and Dylan and Luke, who's here, and Cross, and Kenny, and Davey, and Seth, and Matthew Hayes, and Quint. Remember all those guys? Yeah. All right. I remember all those guys that you joined with. And Liam Amlong was your troop guide, wasn't he? And I remember that first camping trip, the new guy camping trip, and I looked over at your dad, and he was watching you guys learning how to, Matt Nisley was teaching you guys how to sharpen knives. And Dave looks at me and goes, oh, that one. And I go, what, Davey, my son? He goes, oh, no, he's fine. It's the other one. And sure enough, that's when Kenny came running by with the finger. But that was your new guy camp out. But and your first summer camp was Broad Creek. And you guys did basketry there, too. You didn't do it this way. But I remember at T. Brady Saunders, your first week, all your other friends were going home Friday night. And they said, come on, Aiden, let's go. And you said, I'm not going because I got to do my communications merit badge, and I'm sticking around, and I'll go home tomorrow. And I knew right then there was nothing stopping you from being an Eagle Scout. You had that kind of stuff. I remember you, winter camp, trying to light a fire with the flint and steel. And you worked and worked and worked and never got it lit, but you kept trying. And at summer camp 2 years ago, you were the ASPL, but Bobby was the SPL, so you were really the SPL. Even he admits it, but that. And then you and Sam and Andrew were all part of that group that summer that did COPE. And that I'm kind of jealous of, that I didn't get an experience like you guys got. That was probably one of your greatest experiences that you're going to have and memories coming out of scouting. And the fact that you kept in touch with those guys that you did summer camp with and COPE with through the years online is great. And then Andrew, you joined the next year. And your scout, who joined with you? Let's see. James was there, Nathaniel was there, Liam was there, Joey was there, Nathan, Peter Dugan, Porter, and Jack Barrett. Yep, all those guys joined with you. Somebody else? Yes, Aiden Borowski, who was here for like a week or something. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember the first year we did the sewing night. Mrs. Beard and Mrs. Kaiser actually sewed up a blanket for you. I don't know if you still have that blanket, but do you remember that? Yep. So I remember those things. And I remember your dad coming. We were on a camping trip or something, and you were home alone. And you were burning hot mitts and throwing them out the kitchen window. What? Mac and cheese. And you set the house on, no, you didn't set it on fire. But these are just memories that I have. Yep. You didn't catch the woods on fire, fortunately. But it wasn't a scouting thing, but I just remember that from you. And then you were the ASPL under Liam as SPL, and I remember at winter camp we gave you an obligation to do some do some discipline, and you looked at Liam like, what have we gotten ourselves into? Why are we doing this? But you did it. But and your leadership that Heather pointed out last summer was great, and coming to us and doing that. Your troop guide was Matt Nisley, wasn't he? I think it was. Maybe not. And you took a lot of merit badges, a lot of them that your dad was teaching, and he needed someone to take them. So you may not have been. Yep. Sam joined with Jack, who's here, and Brandon and Casey. It was the four of you. Right? Who? I don't remember. Tommy? Tommy Bevilacqua? Maybe. Okay. Yep. Tommy was there. Yep. But I remember the first camping trip we went on where Jack didn't drink water and got the headache and it poured rain and we were going to camp. But the thing that stuck with me about you on that was you had been to one camping trip, it was the new guy, and we were going down to Smallwood State Park, and you stepped up to be grub master without having done it before. And that's the kind of stuff. You just stepped in and did it, and you made it through. And it worked. I mean, it was raining, and it was quiet, and Jack wanted to crawl in there. But that. One of my favorite memories of you at summer camp was when Brandon was dejected because he thought he earned a badge, and we told him he didn't. And I watched as we're going to the parade field at night, and Brandon's all like this. And you were, back then, you were still a head taller than him. Now you're like 7 heads taller than him. But I remember my favorite scene is just seeing you with your arm around your friend, consoling him and making him feel better for not being that. Is there a picture of that? That's one of my favorite memories of you. I remember when we went to Gettysburg the first time, and it was freezing, and you were earning your cooking merit badge, and you made Franken beans in the, yep. But Cope, they made me sign a paper saying you could do Cope because you were only 13 at the time, and you had to be 14. And there's not another scout in the troop I would have signed that for except you. And the day at Cope, when there was a scout on the ropes course be in distress, and Mr. Gable was taking video and saying, hey, we got to get him down. And you said, Mr. Gable, can you put the camera down and help us? You know who told me that story? Mr. Gable. So, Liam, you joined with Andrew and those guys. I don't really have any memories of you, so we'll move on. No, I'm just kidding. I remember you joining. You joined at the same time. Your brother came over as a dual enrollee, and we went to camp up at Broad Creek and whatnot. But some of the things I remember you, every year since the first new guy, or the second new guy that you did, you've run the axe yard. And you've run it well, and you've really taken leadership on that. Whenever I've asked you to do something, and sometimes it's because your dad's a scoutmaster that you get shoved and said, do that. You know, you and Heather get put upon to do those things. But you do it. And so I can always rely on you to do something. And I did speak with Mr. Osterritter. He does want to go back and look at that personal fitness badge again. Just want to make sure you know that. And I did I do think, because you don't age out for a while, and I'm not sure if there is a navigation merit badge or not. I know there's an orienteering one, but you need to learn GPS and how to, not get us lost. But you do. You have a great sense of humor, and you've led a number of times as SPL, and I can always look for you for your leadership. And James, 11 years you've been in scouting? Yeah. You know who's been with you 11 years? Your parents. You know who else? This guy. We came from the same pack, didn't we? Yep. And you joined this troop. Why'd you join this troop? I know why. I remember. You told your dad you joined this troop because it looks like we did a lot of engineering stuff. Monty, am I right? Absolutely. Yep. So, but we came to do that. But you have grown through the years. As like Mr. Doyen said, your hat, without your hat, we wouldn't be a troop. And you, the last Eagle required merit badge that you didn't need to earn was the swimming merit badge last summer when we didn't think we were going to earn any badges. And one of my favorite responses to that was your dad saying, because the bicycling merit badge is an alternate to swimming. And your dad said, you made me ride that 50-mile bike ride and you passed the swimming. I don't know. Anyway, the three of you did cope, as I said. So this year at summer camp, you guys got to do it because it is a great program. It's a great bonding thing. I have been proud to be your scoutmaster, and I know I went on longer than anybody wanted me to, but I have been proud to be your scoutmaster for the past almost 6 years, 5.5 years, and I plan to be here for a few more. So don't worry, James. Our ride together's not over, okay? And the rest of you too, all right? Thank you. Congratulations. You all 5 eminently deserve it.
I'm Jack, and I just want to say, Sam, congratulations, man. I've seen you ever since we were in Cub Scouts together, man. You were determined. You were, I don't want to say steadfast, but you were going for Eagle Scout. I knew it. And when we got here, I knew you were like a leader to me. You kept us going. I don't have much to say about you guys, but I do have something to say about James. Put a rental agreement on that hat. You will make money. Well, Andrew, I remember you. You were this guy. You were just. Well, moving on to the Aiden. I saw you as a solid rock, a guy that I could look to for leadership. Oh wait, that's what I was going to say about you. But yeah, James, I'm glad I got to become your friend, as much as you might deny it. But yeah, I'm going to try and join you in Cope this year. I'm definitely going to do that. Liam, you were a guy that I could always look to. You were smart, intelligent. You knew what to do. You had a plan. You always knew what you were doing. You could figure it out. And I really thank you. You helped me get through a lot of stuff, scout-wise.
I don't know who's keeping the betting sheet on when I start crying, but if anybody picked last Friday at 7 p.m., you're the winner. I wanted to elaborate just real quick on something that Eli said earlier about the kids playing dodgeball. And for those of you that have been around the troop, we do play a lot of dodgeball. When Andrew was coming up, he came up with Peter Dugan and Aiden Borowski. All 3 of them played travel baseball together. And I remember their very first scout meeting, they really got into this dodgeball. And I don't remember if it was I think it was probably Mr. Gazzo who came over and said, hey, I know you guys are new here, but can you tell your kids not to throw so hard? They're hurting the older boys. So, I mean, dodgeball's been a love, and now Andrew plays underhand, so he doesn't hurt anybody. Or with your left hand, that's right. So I do want to tell a quick story. As you saw in the slideshow, We have lots of memories of all the boys, and there's just too many to share. But one thing that sticks out to me, here comes the crying. I knew I couldn't do it. When we were in Cub Scouts, Peter Dugan was our den leader, and Mr. O'Day, who's here somewhere, Ken O'Day was his assistant, and I kind of helped out as an extra hand. And Peter came up to us and said, "Hey, are you handy?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And he said, "Good, I want you guys to build us a new bridge. The bridge that the Cub Scouts use is horrible." So Andrew took it upon himself to build this bridge, and there's pictures of it in the slideshow in Andrew's section, with Mr. Johnson and myself. And on each step of the bridge, it says, God, I hate my emotions. It says, the points of the Scout Law, the trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly. And for all of you guys, I'm horrible at this. For all of you guys, those are not just words. Those are not just things we say every single time we get together. It's who you are. It's who you... Wow. See, Heather, it wasn't just you. I wasn't just crying at your sermon. The bridge is coming up. This is actually pictures of the bridge right here. But anyway, it's not just words. It's who you are as people. It's who you're going to be. So one thing Andrew said earlier about his rocks, there are some rocks out in the lobby. We would like you to take a rock, and if you haven't seen his project, it's in the lower parking lot down here. Please take a rock from the table over here and take it down and deposit it into the rock garden. That's what it's here for. We want to keep the rock garden growing and be part of the community. Thank you.
So, of course, I know all of you since I'm pretty sure, except for Aiden, you all are younger than me. So I have lots of fond memories about all of you, but I think the story that stuck out to me the most was one with Sam. I think it's probably the first time we actually worked together. It was orienteering, I think, your first year, right, Sam? And it was the beginner's course. And I'm going to be completely honest, I suck at orienteering, so I had no idea what to do. But Sam, being the guy that he is, of course, he took the lead. We were able to follow the trail, mark out all the spots, and when we get back, we submit it, we turn it in. We don't expect much for anything to happen. And in the end, surprisingly, we got 16th place, which might not sound like a lot, but 16th place was actually pretty high up there, and it's all really thanks to Sam. He's just a smart, dependable, reliable guy, so. You knew more than what I was doing. Let's just say that. Still. So, congratulations, all of you, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do in the future.
All right, let's get one thing out of the way. First of all, I did a 2-year-long disappearing act, so I do not remember a lot of things from, unfortunately, Sam, Liam. I never actually really got to know you guys personally, but all I know is that from the stories I've heard of you guys, you are amazing people and deserve everything that you guys have earned. What I do know, however, is Aiden has been dealing with me for, I think, 12 years now, maybe more, since elementary school. And we joined Cub Scouts, or you might have joined Cub Scouts before me, but I joined in Weeblo 1 and have been with Aiden, Jack, since Weeblo 1. And the only real thing that really sticks out to me is how reliable Aiden really was, not just as a leader, but as a friend. The main example that I can think of is the half-mile and mile swim. I did that 3 times, and I think I only was ever in person to receive the award once. because I had other swimming commitments at that exact same time, funny enough. But Aiden woke me up every single time at like 5:45 in the morning. I always told him, don't worry, I'll get up right away when you wake me up. Nope. I think it took me at least 5 minutes to finally realize that I had to get out of bed. But I always picked Aiden to be my spotter, regardless of what I was doing, because I just knew for guaranteed certain that he would be by my side and be able to be trusted with whatever I needed. And for that, I'd just say thank you. You were an amazing friend, and I can't believe that it's been this long, and you're still getting your Eagle Scout before me. But congratulations to all 5 of you. You all truly deserve it. I know for a fact that you all are amazing people and amazing friends, and whoever is lucky enough to be your friend is truly one of the luckiest people alive.
So, some of you guys may know me. I was basically around when some of these guys were joining the troop. I'm not very familiar with Sam or James or Liam, but Liam, I'm actually impressed with your list of merit badges. You actually probably beat me. But I'm so glad that you guys are here today and that you guys are completing Scouts, you're getting your rank, because when I was in Scouts, I was one of, if not the only guy of my generation to do it. Aiden, you joined when I was basically leaving, Andrew shortly after. I just want to say one thing. I'm so proud of you 5, seriously. This is something that will follow you through your life. I wasn't there for some of your projects, but I'm so happy that you guys completed them, that you're here today, you're making it through, and ultimately that you guys are doing it together. So I hope you guys stay friends. Hope you guys hang out all the time. I heard some great stories tonight, and I'm really proud of you.
Okay, so Liam, there's been a few times where we've had the Doyens over for like a little hangout during the summer at our house. But this one time, we had these burgers, and Liam said that he'd love them and eat them again, all the way up until he found out they were vegan burgers. The only reason he found out was because Heather told him. But we did fool him, and he did enjoy them. And this one's an add-on to Nick's second question to you, Liam. The camp out. A certain small girl in our female troop went up to Liam and said, "I am a dinosaur, roar." And that whole day, Liam kept repeating that back to us, and she just used it against him for a little bit.
Now I can say I've worn the hat too. Stole that thunder, so I'm going to move on. I had 2 other things. The first one is that when these 5 guys were starting and their patrols would all the patrols line up, they were as tall as little Eli over here. They were your height. And a couple of weeks ago, they called for everybody to fall in, and so they did. And there's little Eli's group and the rest. And I realized that these guys, see, you're not the only one. These guys are the tallest. They've learned so much, and they've grown so much. While I'm proud of you, obviously, seriously, all 5 of you, you're astounding young men. And you're strong, and you're brave, and you're reverent, and all those other things. And it shows. I look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. And now on a non-teary note, well, maybe still teary, I know I'm going to be sewing a patch on that shirt. I would be honored to do the other 4 as well. if you're willing to let me, I don't have to take them today, but but if you'd like that Eagles patch sewed on permanently, I will be happy to do so for you. That's all.
Congratulations, guys. I didn't think this day was ever going to get here. I was really thinking it was never going to get here. So I'm so happy just to share the day with you. I actually wrote a speech, and I've been listening to it for the last 20 minutes because everyone else is stealing all my stories. But there were two things I want to clarify. First, the bicycling story. It wasn't 50 miles. It was 150 miles. Yeah. And we got to the end, and we're up on the Western Maryland Rail Trail. And we started at like, 7 o'clock in the morning because it was really hot. And we got to the end, and we're sitting there drinking Gatorade in the shade. And I'm popping Tylenol because that was a 50-mile ride. And James looks over at me and says, man, if I ever have a son and he does scouts, he's taking swimming because I ain't doing this again. No. And I just looked over at him and I said, if I weren't so tired, I'd hit you. And then, yes, he goes to summer camp and takes swimming. That's all true. Second story I want to share with you is something I swore I would not tell until I saw James and Liam both get their eagle. And it's just a funny thing. And it's an admission more than a story. Way back when they were trying to get tenderfoot, they were out behind the church. And one of the requirements was start a fire. They picked the night to start a fire where it had rained for 3 days prior to that. And they were out there for half an hour trying to start a fire, and everything soaking wet. And I went out to check on them. And Mr. Kaiser came out. He said, all right, I'm going to come back in 10 minutes, and we'll see how you're doing. And I knew he'd be back in 10 minutes. So they're trying to start this fire. And they're building teepees, lean-tos. They're really trying to get this fire started. And they just kept going at it. And like I said, it had been about 30 minutes. And they turned around, and I took a piece of fire starter and tossed it right in the middle. And they lit it up, and boom, fire. And then they went to get Mr. Kaiser, who was on his way already. When he came out, though, it was all wet. I mean, it went right back down to this itty-bitty blue flame. And I don't know if Peter knew it or not. If he did, he hit it well. But he looked at that itty-bitty blue flame and said, if you keep working, you might be able to get that lit. And that itty-bitty blue flame was right on top of that big piece of fire starter. And I think if he figured it out, he also saw what I did, is they'd been working at it for about 40 minutes at that point. So in a small way, I helped you get tenderfoot. But congratulations, guys. I'm very proud of you. You are definitely the cream of the crop for 995. And very deserving of the award today.
Just want to say you were all well on your scouting careers by the time I joined Troop 995, or Nick joined Troop 995. But you should all be very proud of your projects and your accomplishments through your scouting career. And I just wanted to thank you for letting me be a part of it, and just let you know how honored I am that I was able to contribute in some way and work with you toward this achievement. It's a really honorable accomplishment. You should all be very proud. Thank you.
Someone else should really end this because I don't have anything too amazing. I was thinking about stories for Liam and all the scouts, and I couldn't help but noticing, flipping through all the pictures, hundreds, maybe thousands of pictures over years of scouting, he always makes a face. I don't know if anyone else sees this. He's always making a face. It's always some crazy, I don't know how he does it. Every single time. It must be at the nick of time, too. Always a face. So that'll be good for future generations to see. I blame my grandfather. I'm just going to blame him. He's not here. He can't defend himself. Sorry to the Zoom. But I also just wanted to say that it's been amazing seeing not only Liam but all five of you. I remember I joined the troop just after I had become an Eagle Scout, and seeing all of you when you first came in and were still new and didn't know things and kind of had to be directed, as younger scouts do. And over the course of these past years, seeing you all grow into people who lead and who you're still having a good time in the program and still getting things out of it, but seeing you being able to switch when needed to lead and to help other people, and not only your younger scouts but just the people in general who need it, and to make sure things run right. I think that's the measure of a good scout, is being able to set aside, just having fun and still being able to, with the right spirit, kind of do what's necessary to make sure the group succeeds and see beyond just what's good in the moment. And I think all five of you, exemplify that, and I couldn't be more proud. So thank you.
All right, so I already talked, but I just got a text from Luke Humphrey. He's going to call in, and he wants to say something. So, Luke, if you're watching online, please call me. Go ahead. Luke, mute your sound on your computer.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I've known these five boys for the longest time, probably about 10 years, and I have stories about all of them. So let's start off with James. I was in the Cub Pack with James in elementary school, and I remember him being a really good friend, and I will never forget it. And a funny story off the top of my head to say about James would probably be a story. It was 6th grade Bands by the Bay, and James played the trumpet, and it was very, very hot that day, like very, very hot, and he overheated while it happened, and I wanted to go over to consult him to make sure he was okay, and he had this look on his face that like it wasn't gonna let him down or put him in the downs, and it really made me think how good of a person he is, and I think that him getting Eagle is really deserved, because he never stopped no matter how hard he tried, and I admire that about James. Okay, who else? There's 4 of you? Okay, Liam. Liam. So I did soccer with Liam for, I think, 2 years. I'm not too sure. For 2 years, I think I did soccer with Liam. And I'll never forget the times I had with Liam, because we would bicker about nonsense. We would play the game. We would have fun, and it was a good time. And growing up with Liam has been great. And I'm not gonna lie, I've drifted far from Liam recently, but I don't think that's ever gonna stop us from being friends. And I know from all our experiences, Liam is super determined, and he really, really deserves this. and I'm glad he got it. Okay. Big story coming up. We have Sam Landon, big man Sam. So my second ever New Guy camp out, there's a place at New Guy called the Tire Park. And and I'm guessing some of you know the story. So we did this thing called King of the Hill, and on this tire park, and let's just say things went bad, and I may or may not have crushed his skull, and I may or may not still be on Sam's hit list. So, so there's that, and after that, I did as much as a seventh grader could to be there for him, and I'll never forget Sam, even in the future, because I don't know who said it. I think it was Mr. Doyen. He said he's just the most well-rounded person I know, and I can't help but express that, and it means a lot to me that he's gotten this award, and I can be there with him through it. Okay. Second, Aiden Dement. Okay. Aiden Dement. I cannot think about something on the top of my head except for my first ever New Guy camp out. It was New Guy camp out. We were playing Manhunt in the dark. It was pitch black. It was a mess, and I remember I was still alive, I guess you could say, and Aiden was it. And I remember sprinting across the big field, and Aiden pulls his arm out and clotheslined me. And he mentions it to this day, and it is so funny every time I think about it, because I got up from adrenaline, and then as the night went on, sleep was not my friend. I could not sleep on my back. I got clotheslined. Okay. And Aiden is a very real guy, and I appreciate that about him, because Aiden will say whatever's on his mind, and most of the time it's the stuff that's good for you, as in the stuff that needs to be said to make you a better person. And I really, really appreciate that about Aiden. And I can't express it enough. Thank you, Aiden, for being there as my older scout, other than my brother. But yes, you deserve this award, and I'm glad I could have helped. I'm glad I'm there with you. Okay. The last one. Mr. Ginge, Big Andrew Gable. So coming into sixth grade was a rough time for me personally, and sixth grade is around the same time that you're able to join Scouts, and that's what I did. And Mr. Kaiser kind of mentioned all the people that joined. It was people along the lines of Peter Dugan, Porter Tierney, Andrew, and a bunch of others. And I will never forget the way they brought me in, because I was new to their community. They all went to Broadneck Elementary together. I did not. And I'll never forget how they all brought me in. And it means a lot. And all the other boys left except for Liam, me, and Andrew, and James, all from that age group, I believe. If I'm forgetting anyone, who? Oh, Nathaniel, yes. Sorry. We're the only 5 from our year left, and it means a lot to have you all here, and I'm still, I don't know how to put this in words, but Andrew is one of my best friends, and him getting this achievement and me not being there really, really, really sucks. So I really appreciate this opportunity, Mr. Mark, and I just want to say thank you and good job to everyone there. And I want to say thank you to Andrew for being in my life, because Scouts is hard. And he's other than my dad, he has pushed me the hardest to keep going. And I don't want to promise it, but I'm going to try to get Eagle. And I want to thank all of you for inspiring me, because it really is you guys. You're the people I look up to for Scouts, and you're all great people. And I don't know how to end this. Oh, my brother's here. Is it okay if he does this?
Yeah. I guess keep it quick though.
Okay, here you go.
Quick. All right, I'm gonna keep it a lot shorter than Luke did, but I'm really sad I couldn't be there today. Just a bunch of unforeseen circumstances. But I guess to put it simply, these 5 guys are some of my closest friends, and I can say that I have more stories outside of Scouts than I do in Scouts with them. Like, it's a really large memory gap. But I'll just try and give the first impressions with original stories. So I'll start with Aiden, because that's the simplest for me. He's the one that joined in my age group. Everyone else is younger than me. But I remember summer camp at Broad Creek, Camp Saffron. Me and Aiden were heading to our swimming merit badge class after lunch. And for lunch that day, they gave us gigantic hot dogs. Like, I don't even know how to describe it in words, but they were huge. And we just kind of introduced ourselves together, like, oh, we're new Scouts, we're in the same troop, yeah. And we start heading towards swimming, and Aiden throws out his hot dog because he's not going to finish. And as we get up, he goes back through the line to get seconds and gets a brand new hot dog. And now walking back to swimming, he's eating a hot dog. We're both in our swimsuits, and we're about to go swim whatever it was, distance to. And then we're just making fun of each other the entire way, because that's just what we do even to this day. Andrew, Liam, and James all came in at the same time. I had known James as well from Cub Scouts, but we were never really, close friends, to put it that way. But New Guy Campout was just where I got introduced to you all, because then I was not the new Scout anymore. I was able to, go teach a class instead of take the classes, or stations, whatever you want to call them. And it was, you 3 were just great people to get to know. You were all tireless workers and all that other stuff people have already said. And then I guess that's summing it up in age groups. So next would be Sam. And I knew Sam from doing soccer with Luke already a little bit. And Luke already told the tire swing story, which honestly would have been mine too, because I think I was the SPL during that troop. That camp out. So I'm now, or at least maybe I was acting like it because I wanted to. But so all of us are huddled around Sam, and he took it like a champ, because there's no way that couldn't have hurt. But as much as it hurt, he was sitting there taking it really well. And to this day, he's still trekking on with Scouts, because there's definitely enough people that would have gone through that and been like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to go back. And I think that sums it up.
Thanks. Does Leela want to talk? No, I'm joking. Hey, Seth, while I have you on the phone, just real quick, could I have Luke from All stand up? Davey Kaiser stand up, and Seth, you're on the phone. Although we're acknowledging these 5 scouts today, we have 3 other new Eagle Scouts that are getting their award in a couple months. I think we should give them a round of applause, too. Congratulations. Seth, I'm hanging up on you.
All right, do we have any more last-minute stories, call-ins, any of that? No, we're good? Okay. Reverend Brandon, would you please provide us with a closing blessing?
I'd invite you to stand as you are able. And again, just a word of appreciation for being able to host you here today, and indeed to host this amazing troop here at Gloria Day. I do invite you all to, again, take that rock and drive down to visit the beautiful garden down there. So thank you, Andrew, for that. So now, may the one who created us, redeemed us, and who sustains us bless you and keep you. May this one's face shine upon you with grace and mercy. May this one look upon you with favor and give you peace. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Brandon. Connor, will you please come forward to lead the retiring of the colors?
Will the color guard please come forward? Color guard, retire the colors. Scout salute. Two.
We would like to recognize the scouts and their parents, so please come forward for a group photo. Yeah. Should I just conclude? All right. So this concludes our ceremony. This afternoon has been a special one. Thank you all for coming out and participating in this wonderful event. Please join us for cake in the lobby.
You know, I think the funniest part of the ceremony was the red candle. This was using the light. That was hilarious.